get checked out, mostly because it would get us a discount on our insurance. So I finally went and got blood work done, and I shouldn't have been surprised that shit came out looking like strawberry syrup from IHOP. But I'm pretty sure that strawberry syrup from IHOP has way less sugar in it. Whew! They told me my A1C was 12 and a half. I always love when you get that right, like some of the people who are in the know. See, the ones who don't, okay, if you don't realize it, normal people have like an A1C of like 5. Mine was holy shit. So I really had to buckle down to try to get healthy. And by May of last year, I got down to a 6. Appropriate response. But hey, honestly, it wasn't that easy. All I had to do was give up happiness. Like seriously, as soon as I found out, I gave up pop, pasta, potatoes, rice, sex. Okay, that was my wife's idea. Sugar is rough, okay? You don't realize that sugar can mess you up, especially if you're a guy. I mean, here's the thing. We've been together 27 years, and she kind of picked up on certain things, and that's probably why she was like, you need to go get checked out. But here's the thing. It all got better because my doctor hooked me up with that amazing little blue pill. Yeah. She's like, that saved my relationship. Here's the thing, guys. Honestly, there is nothing to be ashamed of. It is like one of the best things that ever happened to me. As soon as I got that prescription, I felt like Mario the first time he found a mushroom. Everything was like, boop, 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 just getting bigger. I'm like, this is great. I'm going to storm a castle and save a princess. Peach doesn't know what's coming to her. Holy cow. Matter of fact, gentlemen, this is the part of the show nowadays I like to ask you guys. This is your turn to be loud and proud. There's nothing to be ashamed of. If you have a prescription for that wonderful little blue pill, go ahead, raise your hands. See that, ladies? They can't get their hands up either. So my wife was like, you've given up all this stuff to get healthy. What are you gonna do for happiness now? I said, I don't know. Maybe I'll try blow. It's worked for Keith Richards. I mean, like, the guy's never gonna die. He's gonna be around forever. But no, I'm not gonna do anything that harsh. Actually, last year we decided to try edibles for the first time. Somebody like, yeah, don't worry, I'm not a cop. You can be excited about it, people. Oh yeah, no, because think about it. I just got diagnosed with diabetes, type 2. I'm a big guy, so I thought, yeah, edibles. Let's try eating something, because where has that gone wrong for me? So we were actually all hanging out at a bar on like a Wednesday night before the 4th of July last year. And it was me and my wife and her friend and her husband. And they were like, hey, we're going to Michigan next week for a concert. And we heard that pot's legal over in Michigan. And we're going to do edibles. And my wife's like, really? That sounds awesome. I'm like, where the hell have you been? We've been together 27 years. I've never heard that response once. She's like, well, I never really wanted to smoke anything, but I'd be down for eating something. I'm like, okay. But she's like, isn't pot legal here in Ohio? And her friend's like, no. Well, it is, but it isn't. She goes, Michigan's fun legal. Ohio's like, make up a medical excuse, like diabetes legal. So her friend's like, well, you know what? If you want to, we could actually try it before we go. I do have a giant pot cookie at home that we could all share. And I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, I got it in my freezer. I got it a year ago. Shitting me. Really, a year-old pot cookie in your freezer. You know that's not like the top of a wedding cake, right? You don't put it in your freezer and pull it out at the 1-year anniversary of when you thought you were going to get high. And that's when her husband spoke up and he was like, well, I got a backup. I got some gummies at home. And I'm like, there you go. That's a decent backup. He goes, yeah, I got them at a concert a year ago. You guys really sit on shit, don't you? One night you were like, hey, you want to get high? They were like, hell yeah, when do you want to do it? I don't know, Akron, Ohio. Maybe a year from now, 4th of July, sounds about right. So all of a sudden, my wife's friend gets this panicked look on her face, and I'm like, what's wrong? She goes, I just realized something. If we're going to do this, we're going to do it at our house, right? And I'm like, well, that's the plan. You're the one with the stuff. And she's like, well, we have a really nice house on the lake. You know that. I'm like, yeah, it's perfect setting. She goes, yeah, but what if one of us gets so high that we walk into the lake and drown? Seriously? Like, what fucked up PSA from the 80s did you see that I missed? Like, I remember the one with the frying pan, right? We all remember that? And then there's the one with the dad, the cigar box, his kid sitting on the bed. He's like, where'd you learn how to do this? Yeah, I learned it from watching you, Dad. But I never saw the one where the kids are all sitting around the campfire at sleepaway camp, and they're like, Bobby's really high right now. But he doesn't know how to swim. Before I could say any of this, my wife spoke up and she goes, I have an idea. I'm like, what's that, honey? She's like, we can all wear life jackets. Brilliant. Now I have a picture in my head of 4 middle-aged white people sitting on a patio, 50 yards from the water, just waiting to get high for the first time. So that our time for our adventure comes close. It hits that day, and I'm getting off of work, and I get a phone call from my wife, and she's like, hey, so I just got a call from my friends, and if you're on your way over, they were like, they're not really sure about the stuff that they have, and I'm like, really? What was your first guess? Did they see the expiration date finally? She's like, well, listen, could you maybe go and get some edibles for us? And I'm like, sure, because we've never done this ever. Like, well, luckily I have a little brother who's a pothead, so I'm like, okay, I'll figure this out. And I did. I called my little brother up, he pointed me in the right direction, got a nice big bag of gummies, took him over to the house. We all got inside, we made a little food because we didn't want to do this on an empty stomach. After we ate, we went out to the patio, we put our life jackets on. Then we all reached in, grabbed a handful of gummies, and just tossed them in. Yeah. About an hour has gone by, and we're all just sitting there staring at each other. My wife's like, are you feeling anything yet? And I'm like, holy shit, am I ever? My vision's all blurry, and I'm all sweaty, and I'm dizzy as shit. She's like, that sounds amazing. I'm like, no, it's not. These aren't edibles. I bought regular gummies. I'm having a diabetic reaction. Whew. Damn. But no, I just want to lose weight and honestly get healthy for the right reasons. Not so much my wife, kids, or the diabetes. I just want to see my penis again. It's gotten bad. I've had to start sending dick pics of myself to myself. Because it is way easier than climbing up on a wet toilet after a shower to catch a glimpse of the mirror. Oh yeah. On top of that, a couple years before that, I got diagnosed with the sleep apnea. Anybody here with the sleep apnea? All right, CPAP bro, right over there. Hell yeah. And it's not. That was honestly, it's not that bad. It does feel like there's a rubber octopus humping my face to sleep, but it makes masturbation way more interesting. Like I said, I've been with the same woman for 27 years. You know, if that doesn't work, I just have her wrap the hose around my neck and give a few tugs. Yeah, when I got diagnosed, she's like, you don't have to be embarrassed about this. You know, we can make it fun. I'm like, are you serious? She's like, yeah. We do a little role playing. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. That's when I found out we're not creative people. All we have come up with to this point is she dresses up like a really sexy nurse, and I dress up as a coma patient with a ventilator on. Sex is still pretty much the same. I lay there and breathe really heavy, and she does all the work. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for a great show tonight? All right. Before I get your feature act up here, I just want to do a few quick announcements. We have a bunch of great shows finishing out the month of January here at the Funny Stop. Jason Cross is going to be here next week, and then after that, rounding out the end of January, we're going to have the Offend Everybody tour here with Aaron Berg and Luis Gomez. That's going to be great. And then going into February, a special show on Valentine's Day, on the Tuesday on Valentine's Day. Mary Santora from WMMS is going to be here doing an amazing Valentine's show. So bring your significant other, get a hold of that special, come on back here and have a great time. So, without further ado, you guys ready for your feature? Are you ready? He is a great local comic. He is here all the time. He's a published author. He is absolutely hilarious. Give it up for my friend, Mr. Michael Garsh.
One more time for Bill. Let's hear it for Bill.